You disappeared. You went no contact. You blocked them. You sat in the silence for 30 days, 60 days, waiting. Waiting for them to realize what they lost. Waiting for the regret to kick in. But nothing happened. They moved on. They look happy. And you are sitting there, in your silence, realizing that your power move was actually just you hiding in the dark while they lived their life in the light. Here is the brutal truth that 99% of dating coaches won't tell you. Disappearing is not enough. Silence on its own is passive. Silence can be interpreted as you being hurt, you being angry, or you sitting at home licking your wounds. It does not crush their ego. Often it protects it. It lets them think, he's too heartbroken to face me. If you truly want to shatter the ego of a person who disrespected you, you cannot just vanish. You must execute a psychological maneuver that rewrites reality. You must shift from passive absence to active replacement. Today, I'm giving you the protocol. This is how you take no contact and turn it into a weapon of mass psychological destruction. To understand why disappearing isn't enough, you have to understand the narcissistic ego, and everyone has one to some degree. When someone dumps you, disrespects you, or takes you for granted, they have created a narrative. In their story, they are the prize, and you are the fan. Even if you disappear, that narrative remains intact. They assume you are gone because you are sad. As long as they believe you are suffering, their ego is safe. To crush their ego, you must create cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance happens when reality conflicts with their beliefs. You need to create a reality where leaving you wasn't a relief for them, but the biggest mistake of their life. You need to show them that you were the prize, and they were the dead weight holding you down. You don't do this by posting sad quotes. You don't do this by blocking and unblocking. You do this through a three-phase strategy I call the reality rewrite. Phase 1 happens in the shadows. This is where 99% of men fail because they view no contact as a waiting room. They are simply pressing pause on their obsession, hoping that time will fix it. To crush their ego, you cannot just pause the movie. You have to burn the script. You must execute the identity death. The psychology of the fan. You have to be honest with yourself. In the relationship or the dynamic you just left, you were likely operating as the fan. You accepted crumbs. You apologized when you were right just to keep the peace. You made her the main character and cast yourself as the supporting actor. As long as that version of you exists, you will emit a frequency of need. Even in silence, people can intuitively feel when you are waiting for them. It's a subcommunication of weakness. If you disappear but spend every night checking her Instagram from a burner account, you haven't left. You're just haunting her. The execution. The funeral. You need to spend the first 30 days of your silence strictly eradicating your old identity. This isn't metaphorical. I want you to look at it as a death. 1. The environment audit. You must purge your physical space. Gifts she gave you? Box them up or throw them out. Photos on your phone? Into a hidden folder or deleted. You cannot build a new king in the ruins of the old castle. You need a blank slate. 2. The suffering protocol. You need to replace the pain of rejection with the pain of growth. You hit the gym, not to look good for her, but to physically kill the weak man inside you. When you are under heavy iron, you can't think about a text message. You need to induce a state of physical exhaustion every day for 2 weeks. It resets your dopamine receptors. 3. The mission pivot. The old you had a mission that included her. The new you needs a selfish mission. You need to become selfish with your time. You focus on your business or your grades with a ruthless intensity. You treat your time like gold and her memory like dust. Why this crushes them? When you genuinely kill your old identity, you sever the energetic cord between you and her. Most people rely on the fact that their ex is still the same person, just sitting at home. When you kill that person and birth a new one, you become a stranger to them, and humans are terrified of the unknown. Once you have killed the weak version of yourself, we move to the offensive. Disappearing creates a mystery, but phase 2 solves that mystery in a way that is painful for them to watch. This is the unintentional broadcast. Here is the mistake most men make. They try to win the breakup by showing off. They post pictures with other women immediately. They post quotes about loyalty or rising above. They post videos clearly screaming, "Look how much fun I'm having without you." This is pathetic. It screams validation seeking. It tells her, "I am performing for you." It soothes her ego because she knows she still controls your actions. The strategy: signal versus noise. You must broadcast high value, but it must look incidental. It must look like you are so busy living an incredible life that you completely forgot she was even watching. 1. The contrast principle. Content. You want to post content that highlights a version of you she never got to experience. If you were lazy with her, you post a photo of a finish line at a 10K run or a late-night timestamp at the office working on your empire. If you were antisocial with her, you post a subtle video of a dinner table filled with high-value people, laughter, and good food. You aren't even in the shot. You are just documenting the vibe. The caption strategy. Keep it stoic. No emojis, no long paragraphs. Just Sunday work or elevation. Indifference is the key. 2. The new tribe. You need to be seen with people who are leveling up. When she sees you hanging out with other high-status men or classy, feminine women, without being all over them, it triggers social proof. It forces her to ask, wait, if these high-value people want to be around him, did I miss something? Was I the one holding him back? The psychology of the Phantom X. This phase triggers the Phantom X syndrome. She realizes that the man she dumped no longer exists. There is a new man, a better man, using her absence as fuel. When he was with me, he was stagnant. Now that I'm gone, he's thriving. Therefore, I was the problem. That realization, that she was the anchor dragging you down, is the ultimate ego crusher. It flips the script from, I left him because he wasn't enough, to, he ascended because I left. Phase 3 is the execution stroke. This is the moment everything has been building towards. This happens when the silence and the broadcast finally break her resolve and she reaches out. And if you execute phase 1 and 2 correctly, she will reach out. It is inevitable. The human ego cannot stand to be irrelevant. She will send the zombie text. It brings something back from the dead. Hey stranger, I miss you. I left a shirt at your place. Just saw your story, looks cool. The trap. The old you, the fan, would feel a rush of dopamine. You'd think, she's back, it worked. You'd reply instantly, eager to fix things. A bitter man would read it and ignore it forever, or send an angry paragraph. Both of these are losing moves. Anger shows she still hurts you. Ignoring, forever, shows you are scared to engage. The execution. Lethal indifference. The man who crushes the ego responds with the energy of a polite king addressing a peasant he barely recognizes. 1. The time gap. You do not reply for at least 6 to 24 hours. You are not playing games. You are genuinely busy with the life you built in phase 2. Her text is priority number 50 on your list. 2. The tone check. Your text must be devoid of all emotional charge. No exclamation points, no questions that keep the conversation going. You are closing loops, not opening them. If she says, I miss you, the king says, hey, hope you're doing well. You didn't say it back. You didn't acknowledge the emotion. You just offered polite, detached benevolence. If she says, we should talk, the king says, I'm pretty tied up this month with work. I'll let you know if things clear up. You put her on the back burner indefinitely. The psychology. Why does this crush the ego? Because hate isn't the opposite of love. Indifference is. When you treat her like a distant cousin you barely remember, or a random barista you're being polite to, it shatters her main character syndrome. It tells her, you are no longer the lead actress in my movie. You aren't even the villain. You are an extra. You are background noise. Her ego cannot compute this irrelevance. She expects love or hate. When you give her nothing, she collapses. She realizes she lost the power dynamic forever. And that is where you win. Let's recap. Disappearing keeps you safe, but rewriting reality sets you free. 1. Kill the fan identity inside you. 2. Broadcast a life that proves they were holding you back. 3. Treat their return with the polite indifference of a king addressing a peasant. The goal here isn't to hurt them. It's to outgrow them so significantly that their opinion of you becomes mathematically irrelevant. The ultimate ego crush isn't revenge. It's you realizing that you never needed them to be great. You just needed to get them out of your way. I want to know, are you currently stuck in phase 1? Are you just hiding? Or are you ready to rewrite reality? Comment phase 2 below if you are ready to start building the broadcast. If this video gave you the strategy you were missing, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Stop hiding. Start ascending. I'll see you in the next one.